All right, folks, welcome back. C-Rod, aka my secretary. Not as hot as Phases Poser, but still kind of cute. Mr. America wearing his little Missouri Show Me State t shirt, had to go to bed. We are now replacing him with the other War Games captain, LSD champion, and HOW Hall of Famer, an all around douchebag because he's not in the Hall of Fame stable. Instead, he joined that piss ass Ground Zero segment stable, whatever you want to call it. Because it's no longer a stable, Townsend, when you only got like 1.5 people in it. But
I got
anyway,
three.
okay. Silent Witness. Witness, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Thank
Uh,
you.
it's block o'clock in the morning over there. What are you doing up?
It's 6 o'clock. It's just turned 6. I set an alarm
Like I said,
so
that's
I could come
block.
up and see you on.
See, that's why he's a Hall of Famer, folks. He will set his alarm for 6 in the morning to get on the whore. It's a beautiful thing.
That's dedication, that is.
Oh, um, I should have told you about this the second I came on here. You will be so proud.
What'd you do?
Me and Apostle Ryan were on our way to like a gaming tournament today, and we had another guy with us who isn't relevant to HOW in any way, but he knows about HOW. And we were explaining, I was explaining the War Games captaincy and how Witness had gotten one, and like he was a Hall of Famer and this and that. And the guy goes, it sounds like fucking everybody in HOW is in the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame doesn't sound like it means anything. And I had to explain it's because all of our dudes stay active because we're awesome and not like all the other e-feds on the planet. And yada yada yada. And he was like, after probably 10 minutes to me and Ryan explaining to him that he was a douchebag and didn't know what he was talking about, he goes, yeah, it doesn't matter. You guys are like the WWE and their Hall of Fame. Like, there's some guys who deserve to be in there and some guys who don't. And you can keep arguing with me, but there's nothing that's going to change my mind. And we pulled over and kicked him out.
Shut up.
Nice.
Middle of the highway. I'm not even joking. We made him walk the rest of the way. He showed up like 2 hours later.
I want Apostle Ryan on the roster ASAP.
I've been trying to get him on for a while. He just doesn't know if he has the time. He works like 60 hours a week.
I just have him as a manager. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, oh yeah. In that capacity, he's. I've been planning to bring him back for a long time.
All right, cool. All right, so Carl, aka Silent Witness, as we just touched upon, War Games captain, first time ever for you. What were your
Yep.
thoughts when you read that?
I was reading the segment and I was like, okay, is he talking about me? He is talking about me. Holy fuck, I'm captain in War Games. It's fucking insane. That's
Dude.
essentially my reaction when it happened.
That's a beautiful thing when dude, you deserve it, dude. Everything you've been through with HOW and this run, you come back, man. Like your first run in this era, let's face it, you didn't do jack shit. It was kind of like you came back when you probably shouldn't have. You didn't have the time. But this time you came back and it's full blaze of glory going on. And but now that you got the War Games captaincy, there's gonna be obviously Townsend's already said that you are being forced to name him on your team, but
Hi.
there's no rule to say that you have to take Ground Zero stablemates on your squad. Who are you looking at? Who's some of the prospects? I know after the initial shock wore off that your War Games captain, you're like, fuck yeah. Now, like I told Jace, next thing is probably like, okay, who the fuck's going to be on my team?
Yeah.
So you got three people that are going to be joining you. It's teams of four. So
Cool.
without giving anything away of exactly, unless you already know who your team is going to be, but who's out there on your radar, or what are you looking for in terms of people to be on your team, OOC wise, IC wise? What are you looking for?
OOC wise, it's going to be the guys who deserve to be there. Um, not going to go into it too much, but obviously at War Games, a couple of people have missed out, which should have been on. I'm not talking about me either, but a couple of people missed out who probably should have been on there. Maybe a couple of people got on that probably shouldn't have. So try and fix that, so people who people put in the time and the effort to get on there.
Look, you even sound like a face OOC wise. I just love it. He's just so anti everything else about HOW. It's great.
And in character, there won't be Shane. This just can't happen. As much as I'd like to have him on the OOC, it's never going to happen in character, is it? So,
No,
I know
I
Scotty
can't-
would pick me last year.
that's because Scottywood was desperate to get a fucking W, and that didn't work out.
but I mean, I don't know. I have no idea really who's going to be on my team.
Friday, this Friday on KS, I will name the third captain. I already know who it is. And immediately after that, I will put up a thread.
Yep.
And between you three captains, we will figure out who has the first pick.
Me.
Me.
Obviously, I will cheat and make sure Jace gets the first pick since he's best alliance. But it'll be something on the forums where there'll be 3 names listed. First one to reply, first come, first serve, just like we'll do with the war games and we done with Lethal Lottery. Each name will have a number with it, and it will just do it that like that. So
Cool.
just be watching for that. I'll post that immediately after the show on Chaos.
Maybe that's how I should pick my team. Just random.
Hey, there you go. Might help out. I don't know, but it's gonna be very interesting because whoever has the first pick, they have till the next show to make their pick. The goal is all the teams are picked before we hit the month of June. That way we can really get going with the undercard and whatnot. Some guys I'll have you guys announce on the show. I might pressure a couple of you guys or one of you guys. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, but there might be some teammates that are announcing news posts, interviews on the site, segments on the shows. We'll figure it all out. We'll get a timing going. Because technically we're going to need 9 people. And we only have 9 weeks in the RP period. So you might actually name 2 on a show. If you guys just want to announce all your members on the show, maybe you do 2, first one week, and then the next 2 on the next show. Whatever. We'll figure it out. But we definitely got to get all the teams announced before the go-home show and before that last month so we can make sure everybody's got a fair chance to get on the undercard.
So we're definitely then going back to the way, at least the way I preferred from the first war games I was in, where the teams are decided independently and it's not like draft form like it was last year.
What do you mean?
Well, like last year there was a draft and it was done like everybody had to pick in order. They picked one at a time. This year, the captains will be able to go to people independently and just make up their teams as they see fit.
Yeah, but no. They're going to be able to pick who they want, but it's going to be picked in order. It's going to be a draft. Jace, like, say I cheat, Jace gets the first pick, Jace gets the
for some reason I just blanked that part out when I was listening to it.
See, this is why I need to whip you more so you pay attention. Jace, if I cheat, Jace gets first pick. He gets to announce his teammate first. These guys can go to whoever they want behind everybody else's back and like, hey, I plan on picking you. Don't go to witness. I don't care. Play the game. But do know that if you do pick someone, they have the right to say, no, I don't want to be on your team. So if you plan on picking somebody, I highly, highly recommend that you get with them before the show. And here's where the gamemanship comes on. You don't want to lay your guy like, hey, I got you and 2 other people I'm thinking about picking. You want to do a segment for the show if I do pick you, you know? It's going to be fun. As a captain, there's going to be a lot of PMing going on.
I've already got a plan.
Whatever you got to do. Because, let's be honest, I don't think anybody's going to turn you down. But let's say, Jace goes up to Townsend, hey, let's shock everybody. I'll put you on my team, first pick. Townsend could be like, fuck you, I'm waiting, witness is going to take me. There's a lot of game and shit. So, yes, Mike, there is a draft, but the ultimate thing is these guys are going to get who they want.
Okay, yeah, because like last year you couldn't say no. Like last year you were drafted and that was the team you were on.
No, that's because we wanted to do a whole draft thing, That was just like a part of a live horror we wanted to do, like a live show.
Right.
That was just like a theme thing. This year it's standard operating procedures. These guys get to pick who they want, but there will be a definite order of selections announced, so be good stuff. And Mike, why we got everybody else's dream team. Who would be your 4 if you had to go into battle? Say let's pretend you're a captain for once, Mike. Who would be your team?
Are we talking current roster? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
My team. See, I immediately want to pick Jace first, but since I'm certain that like Jace would probably beat me. He'd walk. Well, actually, no, that works because if we both survive and I'm the captain, I walk away with the belt. So yeah, probably Jace, Witness. This is gonna sound super fucking gay because they're all on here, but Jace, Witness, Townsend, and probably at this point, Scotty would.
Now remember, you're only picking 3 because you're the 4th.
Oh yeah. Out of those 3, then probably. Oh, that's tough. I'm
I
gonna
took
say.
Scotty. I took Scotty on mine because I knew I'd get 10 out of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Jace, Townsend, Scotty. Sorry, witness. It's just that those 3 I know will post the max. And
'cause-
unfortunately, what you have going against you is that since you were, like me, not booked for Margin to Glory, I haven't seen whether you max on pay-per-views or not.
Yeah, I have no idea either, mate. So it's gonna be interesting.
sounds like Townsend, dude. I struggle with Townsend to get solid pay-per-views out of him for so long.
Yeah, but the last
yeah,
couple
that's a
I've
good
been on,
point.
it's been like 8, 10, 8.
Well, I know. I'm just saying you were an unknown at one point.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
that.
I might not be able to have Townsend on my team at all. Headline every pay-per-view, lose them all.
Ooh.
Basically, I got so screwed last
No way, I
year
did.
with a shitty team. I would just want to make sure I had a consistent one this year. Like Scotty did really well last year. I think he came in 3rd, and I came in 2nd.
Dude, my team was Scotty, Mike, Max, and Jace.
A solid team.
Well, here, I already know Max is not doing 10, but Max is like 5 will beat most other people's 10 if he's on point. Max is the wild card this year because you don't know how much rust he's going to be, and that's why he's in the tag team tournament to. If you're going to face Max, face him now, like I keep saying. But Max is the ultimate wild card, and he's got, and, he took out a Hall of Famer last week. See where he goes. But
Yeah, that's the thing with Max is that when he comes in, if he's in 100%, like forget it. Like he's just so good, and he doesn't give a fuck.
I
So
know.
he'll just write whatever he wants, and it always ends up being gold. He doesn't give a shit if he hits his match relevance, and because he doesn't give a shit, he usually hits it.
right.
Now, if Max comes in and he just wants to be back, but he doesn't really have the time, then it's a wild card. But if you get Max Kale on point, forget it. Like don't even bother. I shouldn't say don't even bother, but bother, but don't expect to win.
Witness, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you and Jace and obviously the third captain are going to have to go over. It comes down to, it's almost more of an OOC picking than I see. Although, you got to make it work in character-wise. So,
Yeah.
it's going to be tough, man. And obviously, I'll be in contact with you and Jace constantly about, A, who I think should be in it. B, stuff I know that's going on. Like right now, you guys know you can't take Cost off or Reeves because they're going to be fighting at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
There's going to be
Which is
stuff
a
coming.
shame.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys are just going to tear it down. I might just need to make like a second War Games match just for Kostoff and Reeves and just have like their families be their teammates. Dude, how crazy would that be?
Just have war games where they're actually just shooting each other and throwing grenades and all sorts.
I think for war games, you should pick a famous location nearby that would be great for just a fucking death match, and just have them do it with no crowd, and like have them fight like remember when The Rock and Stone Cold fought all over the city?
Oh,
Have
yeah.
them do that, except do it right.
Or you just have like Kostoff on a battleship and fucking Reeves in a tank. Or like, what you do is you make like a miniature city and like Kostoff's like fucking Godzilla and then Reeves is like fucking, I don't know.
King Kong.
Yeah, King Kong, and they're just smashing buildings, destroying all of Canada,
Jesus Christ.
pissing on whales.
I mean, yes, but Jesus Christ.
Maybe, I don't know. It's HOW. Who the fuck knows what will happen? But the main thing is War Games. We got Witness. We got Davidson. Two guys that. Jason, you've never been in War Games. Have you ever been in a War Games match?
Never.
Not in any of your other Fisher Price Feds that you were part of?
No.
And Witness, I know you've been in one, right?
I don't think so.
You
I
haven't
think I was
been in...
meant to be one in 2008, but then I was away over the role playing period, so
I
I
thought
pulled
you
out.
were. I thought you were in the first one this era. Maybe
no,
you
I was
weren't.
meant to be, but yeah, I had to leave.
Well, we got two captains, never been captains before, not even competed in the fucking match. Mike, how are you not a captain?
I don't know, Chris. How am I not a captain?
I said I wanted you and Townsend captains, man.
I,
Oh, it's good to be king. Um, I really want to announce something right now, but I'm hold off. But Townsend,
Yeah.
why would Witness not pick you?
I don't know.
I mean, why would he pick you though? If you don't know why he wouldn't.
Cause I'll definitely show up. He wouldn't pick me because I might be the other captain, but probably not.
He wouldn't pick you because you're going to stab him in the kidney trying to get the title.
That's a really good
No,
point.
I'm gonna stab you in the kidney, Jace. Nobody else.
I'm going to be dead before then.
I'm
This is
still
very-
gonna stab you in the kidney.
even after he's dead.
Yep.
Now, why isn't anybody picking Benny? Benny can drive a tank like a motherfucker. Why isn't
you know,
anybody
you
picking
changed my mind.
Embosser?
I think I might pick Benny Newell this year on my fourth War Games team that I'm announcing next week.
Oh, poor Mike. Mike, somebody will pick you.
No shit, somebody will pick me.
Now I hope no one picks you, you cockfuck. Witness, one of the things we've been talking about in the last couple segments is either expanding to a second show or expanding the one show we have in terms of length. Instead of a 2-hour show, we make it a 3-hour show. Make it from 5 to 8 matches. Just because we have a lot of people that can't be booked each week because of the mass influx of tag team wrestlers and also a lot of guys coming back, Max and whatnot. What are your thoughts? Do we add a second show, or right now the consensus is 1 3-hour show a week? Keep it, just enhance what we know works. What are your thoughts?
Nothing else, just for the amount of segments that people want to be putting in with all the new teams, and then obviously all the guys who are already here wanting to put segments in as well. It's just a massive, it's just loads and loads of segments over over and over. So with a longer show, it'd make more sense.
Right. Now, how is your match writing? We're gonna if we amp it up, we're gonna need to count on some people for match writing. I had you down as my 5th wild card match writer because you've written in the past, obviously summarized. Is that something you could pick up slack on?
Not massively. I'd probably be able to maybe 1 a week when I'm booked. When I'm not booked, I could probably do 2, maybe 3, but I wouldn't be able to get into it massively. I'd have to get them done well before the show as well. So during the
at,
week,
at the most, I would be counting on you for 1.
yeah, I could probably manage that. I'd imagine most weeks if there was any time I could, and I'd let you know, obviously. But
Right. Is there any way we can't make this work? A 3-hour show, guys.
It's
Anybody?
gonna happen. I mean, even if I'll guarantee, if it really came down to it, you could get guys who would be willing to go. Like, I've been toying with this all year, and I guess I might as well say something about it now. It's not for certain, but I've been considering going full-time staff anyway.
You always consider that.
I have, but I know I do, but like I'm getting so busy this year that like HOW stuff is starting to get trickier and trickier for me to pull off. So I've been considering it. It depends on what happens. But not just me. There's a lot of guys. I bet guys who aren't in HOW who don't have time to RP and do segments full time, but who'd be willing to come back and write matches. There's probably guys who'd be willing to take less bookings to write more matches. And it'll happen. There's no but ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like HOW wants it to work, so it'll work.
Townsend
Yeah.
is. I gotta ask you though about match writing.
Yeah.
What about Ward? What do you know about Ward and his ability to write?
I don't know, man. I think he'd be good when he's, booked usually.
Because he's the other one that's a wild card. The more I don't have to use certain people, the better. But I also don't want to burn anybody out. So the more we have, the better. So I think it'll happen. But we'll get. I think FaZe put out the poll, or not FaZe,
America.
America. And I called him Mario, then FaZe. The Renaissance. How gay is that tag team name? Don't name yourself after a failed Fed. Kidding, Mario. I'm the one that told him to use that name. Trying to think here. One thing I was considering for the War Games is actually having qualifying matches to see who could qualify to get in there, because I think some people that are new won't get considered over people that are established just because they're not going to have enough time to prove that they could work at a pay-per-view. But what if you had like a new guy like Quake comes in and beats Reese Townsend one-on-one for a
I
qualifying
just knew you were
spot?
gonna say my name.
Yeah, if Quake beats Townsend one-on-one in a qualifier, it allows new guys to at least, give a shot and prove that, hey, I haven't been here that long, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't be in the War Games match. So that's something I'm throwing out there. I do want to have a legit fairness to it in terms of letting everybody be in that pool of Witness and Jace pulling from. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to do that, and then, you could have one bad week and it throws off everything, so it's touchy. There might be War Games qualifiers, basically what I'm saying. Especially if we go to 8 matches a week. And Mike, you might lose. I might put you against Kostov.
HOFC rules.
Yeah, buddy. Or against David Black.
Psh, that David Black shit was
Now,
off.
Hey, what if I put you against Black and you lost in a War Games qualifier and he keeps you from even getting at the War Games? I mean, I just need to know what the ultimate fallout would be. Worst case scenario.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't want to be on the internet when it happens. That's all I'm saying.
when you don't understand, like,
And we are having one of our
I'm sorry, I
blackout.
probably
Yeah, we had one of our little blackouts. We're about to hit our mark. So whatever you had to say about Black, you're just gonna have to hold your peace.
okay. I didn't actually say anything about Black in that whole little bit, but
The fact that we added another UK guy is killing our bandwidth, but we're all right. Witness, what do you think about your return so far? Let's get some stuff out of you before why I got a chance. I know you got up and want to get going, but how's this HOW compared to the old HOW, man?
It's better in many ways. It's a much more organized thing. Not that it was disorganized before, but I mean, there's so many new bits and pieces. Like the stats is amazing. The site's always been good, but it's just incredible, this new one. And it's everything's sort of organized. I mean, it used to be just you doing everything, and it was insane. But now you've got like a little staff around you, and everyone's got their own little bits. It's like a proper organization. It's brilliant.
Let me tell you, as soon as I learned how to delegate, it was the greatest thing of all time, because let's face it, some of these guys are better at doing shit that I was doing all by myself, and you able to give like a Mike Best, hey Mike, I want you to get whipped. I want fucking Kunte Kinte type shit. And when you're getting whipped, I want you screaming out shit about roster members. And I don't care about a fourth wall breakage. That's literally the conversation me and Mike had.
it's probably the
And
most
then-
fun segment I've ever gotten to write.
And then Mike goes out there and delivers gold. And Mike, look, it was the most talked about segment of that week. And it was totally on the fly. I literally called him. I don't know, was it the night of the show or earlier in the day of the show?
It was like you mentioned it to me earlier, and you were like, "Shoot it down if you want," and I did, because me and Townsend had a segment coming up, and I wanted to roll with that. But then, like mid-show, you hit me up. You either called me or hit me up on Skype, and I remember, and you were like, "All right, make that shit happen." And then I just wrote it.
But to Witness's point, I mean, I don't think I could have wrote that segment better than Mike did. I think my idea was gold, but I have people now, we have now people that I know I can throw ideas at people and they'll execute it a lot better than I could. No one's going to write War Games better than me. No one's going to write Rumble the Rock main event better than me. I think there's a lot of shit that we all do well to make this machine just run. And like Witness said, back in the day, it was just me, and it was so much So much more people on the Fed, so many more role plays written. There's no caps. I mean, you're talking like hundreds of role plays per pay-per-view period. It was crazy. But because we delegate and we scale down in terms of full-out result match writing, it's just a fucking machine. I have no doubts that I could like be at work and hey, you got to go out to Vegas to do the new warehouse for like 3 weeks. I have no doubts the Fed would be all right. America might blow up and his ears would bleed and he'd cry a little bit, but shit would get done. Enough people know what the hell they're doing, but it's just a whole nother animal. And this run's been the longest run so far, Witness. We're hitting 4 years straight.
Yeah. It's good. It's nice to see.
How long you see yourself playing this game still?
How long are you planning on keeping HOW open?
Dude, I plan on my son running this shit, so
yeah, I won't be going anywhere else. So
as soon as we bury Jace, because Jace will be dead. If you have witnessed what happened was we called Kostoff, he was sleeping. Jace left him a voicemail that was very derogatory and something I would never ever say. So he left. So as soon as Kostoff wakes up and listens to his phone, Jace will die.
It's just a rookie mistake, isn't it?
It's
what's going on? Why would you do that?
It's like one thing to talk shit on Twitter, Jace, but to call the man's cell phone and leave a message like that?
I would hope Kostoff was smart enough to realize I don't have his cell phone number. But I would call it...
Dude, you Skyped me and asked me for it, so I fucking gave it to you.
I would hope that...
You told me you were going to talk angles with them, storyline with them. That's what you told me.
This is what I call being in the best alliance and being the sacrificial lamb.
Jace, you should know better, man. You're a locker room leader.
Exactly. At some point, you need to step up.
I'm setting an example of what you're not supposed to do, and Mike Def will set as a ringing example of such.
Just as Mike should be wearing a shirt that says embossed on it with the hashtag all the time, yours is going to be just said, one dead motherfucker, hashtag. Because there's no way that Kostoff's going to let you live after what you've done. I think Kostoff, I'm personally apologize. I've known you for years. I would never do what this guy did. And if you want me to fire him tomorrow, I will. Because that was the things you said. I mean, what was it, Googling on her face? Or binging on her face? I mean, come on.
He's going to Google on Barbie's face, I believe.
Yes. So, Witness, you don't Kostoff just as long as I have.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with his family.
It's really dumb.
I mean, it's one thing for me to like talk shit on Twitter or kill his baby on TV, but
Oh yeah, dude, he's gonna murder you.
yeah.
Kostoff's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
So who's the second and third War Games captain? And because Jace isn't going to be around for it.
Well, obviously it can't be Mike, because Mike has to finish his Chemical Romance discography before I can pick him.
What? I mean, I'm all about being buried on the horror, but what?
That's anytime I say somebody's like whining or crying at work or being emo, I just tell them to go to the corner and listen to My Chemical Romance, and so I will send you all the CDs that I have for them. Mike will never be a War Games captain, just because at this point I think it's more funny to me to have him not be a War Games captain. One day, Mike.
Wait, just for the record, I didn't actually whine about not being a War Games captain. I only did it on my actual in-character account, which if you didn't expect that, then I wouldn't be the bad guy I am.
No, Mike, it's okay. I still love you as a son. You're too unstable. If Jace isn't captain, I'll probably make Sector the captain.
That's an improvement.
And if not Sector, maybe Brad Jackson. I'm not sure. Either one of those two would be a better choice than Mike at this point.
Obviously.
And all Jackson would have to do is copy and paste whatever I told her, and she'd make it work.
Just copy and paste the War Games roleplays from last year.
You know, I
There you
half
go.
expected Brad Jackson to be one of the War Games captains this year.
You did?
I did.
Why? Why?
Um,
What went through your fucking mind to make you think that?
Because I know how you work, and part of me
What do you-
thought that maybe the entire fucking thing was a work, and you've just been waiting for War Games this year to bring her back.
So you're saying that you know me so well that you assume me to. Just
I'm saying I know
fucking-
you well enough to know that I should never assume you wouldn't do something.
So
Yeah,
true.
I'd go with that as well. I agree with that.
I have to agree too.
I don't even know what that means. Is that I don't even know if that's like a compliment or you guys just all just kick me in the balls at the same time.
That's
All I'm
Somewhere in
saying is
between.
the sale of HOW. That's all I'm gonna say.
Dude, that was good stuff.
That was fucking great stuff. But I
Dude, if America
was
didn't
half
figure me
the-
out so quickly, it would have been. I would have been great.
Ugh. I don't role play anymore, so I obviously have to have fun somewhere. And playing with people's emotions in a fake pretend wrestling fed is fun for me. So I don't apologize for that. I don't apologize for being the douchebag heel owner that I am.
I'm dying for it.
Oh, Jace, at some point you'll get it. Right now, you're the greatest person alive to me, though. You have my world title. You're in my stable. Now, if you ever were to lose the world title, I might have to change my feelings towards you, but I don't think that ever will happen. So,
Yeah, unless
Until you die.
unless he
It's-
adopts a new kid, and then all of a sudden, even though your son's the world champion, you forsake him from your War Games team.
again, Mike, you're like a bastard child. I didn't even know you were my kid for so long. It's like
Max isn't actually your kid.
I adopted him. It's legal. You're telling me it's not legal? Mike?
I got nothing. I have no thought. I was thinking for a second. I thought I had that Mike Best retort, but I don't have that on live on the air.
Alright, go write it down. Backspace a few times. Add a couple paragraphs. Whatever you gotta do. Submit it. I'll put it as news post. And we'll say off the air quote from Michael Best.
I probably delete more things I'm about to post to Twitter or just posted to Twitter than I type words and role plays a week.
Oh, I do. I do quite often. I used to, let's just say I used to fire people nonstop. I'd fire a lot of people if I could here.
I literally have a post-it note, and I'm not joking. I'll take a picture of it later, and I'll put it up on Twitter. I have, well, not that it matter. I could just write it, but I have a post-it note on the left-hand side of my monitor that says "Locker Room Leader." And every time I'm about to post something fucking terrible on Twitter, I have to look at it like I'm
I tell
staring
them-
at rosary
see,
beads.
And see, that's the T-shirt you need. You need to say it has on the front has to say hashtag embossed, and on the back says locker room leader. With on the sleeves, you got the HOW logo.
I'll have to get into Photoshop tonight.
Dude, make it happen. Mike, you're a locker room leader. I expect more from you, especially if you're going to be a full-time staffer. You're better than that, Mike. Come on, Michael. I don't want to waste.
What are
I
you
don't wanna-
lecturing me about at this particular moment? I'm actually not sure. I don't know what I
This,
did.
this is for anything you're about to do tomorrow while I'm sleeping.
This is for after the show ends and you go on Twitter.
Yeah, this is right when I like unplug and I go to sleep and you're still awake and you go to Twitter. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the problem. I stay up until like 6 or 7 in the morning sometimes my time, and I get some crazy ideas about what needs to go up on Twitter.
See, we need to have a talk about Twitter. Do I need to put some parental restrictions on
You can
Twitter?
TNA up my Twitter and just take over the Mike Best Twitter.
Witness, what do we do about Michael Best? You know who I wish we had back, Witness?
Who's that?
Is remember good old Stuart Hicks?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of Stuart Hicks talk lately.
Trust me, dude. Stuart Hicks and you would just not get along at all, but it'd be the greatest roleplay battle of all time.
Like me and Varga not get along, or what?
Oh, even worse than that.
So instead of just
Like,
saying he'll go
everybody
to
else
Las
in one
Vegas
go.
to punch him in the face, he actually would go to.
Wait,
No,
did I
you
say
would-
I'd go to Las Vegas and punch Varga
Yeah,
in the
you
face?
you were no, you said you were in Vegas and you were looking for that motherfucker, so you
Oh,
could
yeah,
punch
yeah,
him in
yeah,
the
yeah.
face. No,
Never
this
did run
this
into him.
you would ask me to use HOW Petty Cash Fund money to buy a ticket, fly to see Stuart Hicks, and hit him over the fucking head with the keyboard that he's currently typing a roleplay against you with. And that's exactly what you do. Because this dude was relentless. But he was fucking... Dude could write, though. Fucking badass writer. He just goes out and blazes glory because he writes like 9 kajillion roleplays, greatness, and then he just gets burned out. But you two are like oil and water. Where you're a locker room leader, who I emboss all the time, he is just a guy that I didn't count on for shit, but just a roleplayer. So...
You know what's really funny now is like I'll be talking HOW stuff with my friends, and it used to surprise them. They're like, "Oh, well, why don't you ask Lee if you can do this?" And I'd be like, "I can't." And I'd be like, "Well," I'd be like, "Oh, he's blocking me this week," and they don't even flinch anymore. Like, "Oh, okay, well, once he's done, you can ask him about this. It'd be pretty awesome."
You'll have to listen to this whole horror. I do talk about that earlier. Why I do block you and boss you all the time. Because you are a locker room leader, Mike.
Locker room leader sounds like something like WWE Universe that they just pound into their employees until they said it all the time.
Well, duh. Well, until you're fucking my daughter, you know, that's, you know, and I don't have a daughter named Stephanie, so not gonna happen. Thus, you're just a locker room leader who must make arrangements for Jace's funeral, by the way.
That's all good.
Are you going
Witness.
to give the eulogy, Mike?
I'm gonna give the eulogy / acceptance speech for War Games Captain at the same time.
Make sure
The
you leave
whole-
a spot for me to give my speech accepting his belt.
And then the whole time I'll be in the limo with Tara. Mourning. I mean moaning. I mean morning. Whatever.
Till morning. Till morning.
Until morning. Witness, what's one thing in HW you wish we had or we don't have? Anything lacking from the Fed? You always been a good OOC guy to run ideas off of. Anything we're missing out on?
Omar Rasheen.
If I get that motherfucker back, I would. Trust me. I hit him up on AIM and Facebook all the time. He's like, I just don't have time, man. I wish I could. But if I could get that camel jockey back in here,
That'd be awesome.
you guys have no idea. He would use his camel to do moves off of. Instead of like climbing to the top rope, he's like jumping off the second hump of his camel. It was just greatness.
That's fantastic.
And he was such a cool guy, OOC. He was on many a show, horrors back in the day. Oh, man. Townsend, if there's one guy we could bring in HOW, who would it be from any of your past Feds?
Stark, probably. If you could get him in his prime.
I got him to agree once, and then he no-showed on an HOC bout.
Nah, that dude in his prime was something else, man.
Well, I know. That's why I always wanted him versus Jat.
Yeah.
Because at that
No,
time...
I mean, no offense to like Jace or Max or anybody, but I ain't ever seen a dude like him.
I know, dude. Jat was the closest. I always thought Jat and him, because Jat was at his prime when that was going on too. Ugh.
You
I
know
missed
who-
out on that one.
I faced Stark in his prime, man, and I put up, I think, probably some of the best role players I've ever written, and it still didn't do me any good.
What about you, Jace? Anybody out there we should go after? If we're going to expand the show, let's expand the roster maybe. Get some good quality.
I would say Mike Adams from SCCW. Dude, pretty awesome role player when he has the time.
Get him.
I can
Go
try.
get him. Get him before you die.
Well, that doesn't give me very much time now, does it?
Well, you better get the fuck off the show. Send a goddamn email. Twitter him. Whatever you gotta do. DM, PM, DM, CM. Whatever the fuck you can do. What about you, Mike? Anybody out there? 'Cause
I
you're-
don't know the HOW history with him because I only knew him from other Feds and that he was an HOW guy, so I don't know how it would work. But I would love to see Jay Luminary back in HOW.
That ain't gonna happen. Geo and Neo's not gonna happen.
I really wanted Kelly Flawless to work out, but that never happened.
Yeah, you don't have a very good percentage of referrals.
Yeah, the problem is it was all guys I fedded with like, years ago who were still kind of in it, and they never bothered to tell me, yeah, dude, I'll totally join for you, but I'm probably not going to stick around. Like, why would you bother? Doozer. I really want Doozer in HOW.
He
I don't know
no-showed.
why that never happened.
He
Yeah, but so did
no-showed.
Cancer Giles. And I remember you were gonna give Doozer another shot, and then he fucking stuck with Defiance like a douchebag.
Yeah, when you choose Defiance over HOW.
Yeah, I gave up on him at that point too.
Yeah.
But he's in a level 1 who was in Dream. He was a stable with me and Jack Nemesis, and having the 3 of us back in HOW running together again would be fucking awesome.
Make it happen.
And there's
He's
a
a
couple guys I want to
he's a
get with
good
you about
guy.
off air. Some level 1, yeah, he was cool as fuck. There's some guys from there's a guy named Joe, handles a clown named Isaac Mortimer, who's the shit too. Probably he reminds me a lot of Max. They're very much the same kind of guy. As soon as he gets back into fedding, he's gonna actually hit me up about HOW. But his wife just had a baby a while back, so he took some time off.
I had the first HOW pay-per-view of this era fucking designed and dated around the birth of my first child. So I don't
Which
want
is
to hear
awesome.
that. Yeah. So I don't want to hear that shit. That's another reason why they're without my wife there'd be no HOW, because she literally like signed off on that. She goes, "Well, I'm due on this day. You should better have your pay-per-view on this day." I'm like, "Ooh, that's a good point." So yeah. Witness, what about you? Anybody besides Omar though?
I don't know. I mean, I've been out with it for such a long time. I don't think anybody I used to sort of talk with is still around.
I
A couple of
will-
people from way back in the day I'd like to get back. Juggernaut would be cool.
Oh, if we get Juggernaut back.
Yeah, I've lost his details though. I haven't got any contact for him. All I remember is his name was Dez, and he was Australian.
Yeah, it's Des Bennett at Hotmail or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's going to happen is we're expanding. I don't care what anybody votes in the poll. It's expanding, 3-hour show. If we can upgrade our roster and cut some of our trim or some of our fat, I'm all about it. So remember, there's no applications. It's invite only, referral only. I'm giving anybody in HOW free reign. If you bring in a douchebag, you're taking your name down with them. Mike brought in some good people, but just no-showed. Fired them. But no douchebags. I don't care about... At the end of the day, I really don't give a fuck about the role-playing. It's if they're good people, they bring them in, have fun, whatever. They don't have to get along with everybody. They don't have to be on Twitter or Skype all the time. As long as they show up, have fun, or at least we'll do PMs to talk to the guys. Let's make it happen. Now's the time before, that way we can really get in sync, and plus it's early enough in the pay-per-view period, you guys can really use War Games as a selling point. Like, look, we got War Games coming up in 7 weeks. So,
On the subject, I just want to mention this real fast, just in case people misconstrue my comments about people like not being involved in the capacity to which apparently I demand they be involved too.
no
Hold
one
on,
wants to
stop.
hear this
I'm
shit.
clarifying something, and you'll be happy with my locker room leadership here.
No, the fact that you just did that voice and did air quotes probably when you did that, I don't want to hear it.
I was
We're
getting positive
at-
for like the first time in history, and you told
Yeah,
me.
you were positive until you went into your smart-ass little stubborn child and did the air quotes. Like, locker room leader embossed. I'm always embossed
embossed
because
on
I'm a leaky leader. I don't want to be locker room leader.
I think he takes it as an accomplishment.
He doesn't take it, but anything is getting butthurt on me. And I never block you, Mike. I just refuse to unmute you at some points.
Oh, it tells me like I have to refollow you, which led me to believe it was blocking.
No, I think I'm just mute.
Anyway, the
Tweetbot, I mute you.
Oh.
Greatest
the
thing ever,
comments I
though.
make aren't meant to like tear anybody.
We're out of time, Mike. It's at the 43-minute mark, dude.
Fuck you, Tony Schiavone.
I gotta stop. We're out of time. Mark Madden's got to do a hotline after this. We're out of time. Townsend, anything you want to add before we end the most uneventful show of all time? Lots of info, lots of good stuff. But for once, I did a show without having Scotty Woods being made fun of dominate the show, which I finally wanted to do, and we got it out there. So, Townsend, anything you want to add before we wrap up?
I should be the third War Games captain.
All right, thank you for your comments. Jace, anything from you, sir?
I want to live past tomorrow.
You won't.
No, I hope-
Witness, anything from you, Buddy O'Pound? I do appreciate getting up early. I I want to get a show where we do it in the middle of the day where you guys are actually wide awake and we can have you on for more than one segment. But unfortunately, it's 1 a.m. here, 7 a.m. there. So I do appreciate getting up, but you got the floor, sir, if you want to say anything.
Anybody who wants to be on my team, just send me a PM because I might forget about you. Otherwise,
Because he's
yeah.
not picking Townsend either.
Oh yeah.
I'll just if I don't get to be captain, I'll just message Jace if he's not dead.
He'll be dead, so don't worry about that.
Maybe you should kill Jace and then you can be the other captain.
I don't want to take anything away from Kostov.
This is why
Yeah.
Kostov should wait till Rumble at the Rock to kill me.
Maybe he will. Maybe he'll wake up and just giggle and say he's dead at Rumble at the Rock.
I can deal with that.
It might. It might.
What, are you going to leave the Fed before October?
No, I'll
I-
take my punishment like a man. I just
Go
I just want
Defiant
to
and burn the world
last.
title in a garbage can.
See,
I just want to last till October.
Kostov, he explicitly just said he will take his punishment like a man, fully acknowledging that was him on the voicemail, saying and doing everything. Even off the air, he giggled like a little girl about it. It's like, he, I get it. He's never gonna fucking find me. It's on the internet. I flex my muscles. Kostov, I will give you his address. I have his IP address. We can look it up. I will buy you a ticket. Whatever you want, Kostov. You're my Hall of Famer, dude. I would never
I know
do
his real name. I'll give it up for a War Games captain spot.
I feel so
I
betrayed.
have no morals whatsoever.
You're totally getting sold out, Jace.
Oh, it's great.
It's only for a War Games captain spot. Now, of course, for yours, I would also be willing to not tell anyone.
See, the
ever.
funny thing is, if I wasn't a captain, I'd probably be the first pick.
That's a good point.
Oh yeah, undoubtedly.
I don't know,
wouldn't
if
be-
I was a captain, I'd take Mike first.
If I was a captain, I'm taking fucking Benny first.
Maybe you should
Benny-
have Benny just have his own team. Just
Yeah,
like
but that's
team
because you
blank
get
spot.
like Jet Star to RP for Benny.
Well, duh. I would cheat like a motherfucker.
Does Benny come with a tank?
Benny comes with a tank.
I think
Yes.
I'd take Benny first, though.
There's a tank worth roleplay points.
Yes. Each fired shot is worth 0.3. So if you kill... Actually, you know what? If you get Benny, I'll give you the tank and 5 bonus points. That's like 5 role plays.
I'm taking Benny and the tank then.
But you got to know that he might no-show either, too. But at least you get a tank and 5 role plays.
Yeah.
out of him.
See, if nothing else, then I could ride around in a tank at ringside, and I can't think of anything more awesome.
I would just lock myself in the tank until everything was done, and then come out and like pin somebody who just had like a American flag stabbed in their shoulder.
I just sit in the tank, load the cannon, and wait for it to just be, the other last two. Shoot the
Whatever.
cannon, get out and pin both.
Townsend, all you would do is you'd load up a fucking like 3 pounds of weed, and then you would be taking hits off the fucking tank.
Yeah, but knowing Lee, he would rig the tank so the Stirred would be playing and you wouldn't be able to get out.
Yeah, you would be inside the hatch taking hits out of like an AK-47. That might be a good idea. Somebody's getting locked in the tank. I know Rumble at the Rock, Townsend. If you're in the main event and you're in that
Yeah.
cell for a week, I got
Yeah.
ideas. I got ideas for you.
It's a disturbing week for Townsend.
Yeah. Actually, I think you're going to be locked inside a cell with Scotty Wood, and the only forms of communication are Twitter.
There won't be a Skywood coming out the other side.
What's that mean?
I'll stab him in his kidney.
You can't touch him. The only way
Why
you can
not?
talk.
You said
That's
they're locked
part
in
of-
the cell together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't touch him. You literally just got to sit there and listen to him. You can't even like touch him.
What would happen if he? What would happen if he tried to hurt him?
Then he's done. Then I send in fucking Benny with a tank and shoot both the motherfuckers, and I win.
I'll just bribe Benny with some booze.
I would bribe Benny with the icon title.
It's almost worth dying just to see that.
If anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, Benny in the icon title had some sweet moments of tenderness on the shows before. So yeah, Mike, I forgot I didn't ask you if you wanted to say anything, but we ran out of time, so I apologize. Um,
You're such a dick.
all right, we're hitting the 50-minute mark, and we're not even we didn't even get drunk tonight, but um, lots of stuff for this everybody to listen to. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of War Games talk between now and then. Everybody, again, let me repeat, everybody that agreed to a new contract on the forums, your old contracts have been terminated. You need to go there and sign your new contracts that you already agreed upon. If you do not sign it, you will not be able to roleplay. If you don't roleplay and you no-show, you're fucking fired. I mean, it's really simple. You just go to your profile, click, you already approved the contract, just accept it. Michael and both Mikes need contracts. When's your contract come up, Mike?
Midnight tonight.
So,
Because it's after midnight now.
right. You got like almost 24 hours. We got 23 hours. I should change the countdown timer to Mike's contract. We'll count down. We'll
Is
talk.
he going to negotiate?
I'm just gonna make an offer. He'll either accept it or go to Death Row Wrestling. I don't know. I don't know what Mike will do. Ben will have you over there, Mike. If you're
I'd
not
be
already
world
over.
champion tomorrow. But I'm like, I go, Ben, I have this great idea for an angle. And he'd be like, yeah, what's that? I'd be like, you make me world champion. He'd be like, fuck yeah, that sounds awesome.
But I got to do your contract and Danucci's. It's gonna be done. I'm waiting. I wanted to wait till the last minute. But in terms of everybody, you got to make sure you sign your contract. Gotta get that up. Otherwise, you won't be able to. You won't see that little crate role play. Then I don't want people coming to me. I can't see the crate role play. I don't understand. Sign your fucking contract. That's all there is to it. I want to thank everybody for being on the show tonight. Thank you for Townsend for picking up our slack tonight, drinking. I sailed with the captain for like 3 of them. Not really. As soon as Mike came on, he embossed my buzz, so it was kind of weird. Kind of feel like I need to block him on Twitter again to get my point across that if he ever kills my buzz again, that that's not a very good locker room leader, Mike. If you come on the show and kill the owner's buzz.
Yeah, I'm a douche.
So next time,
You need to be more like me. You need to make him feel like he needs to drink.
exactly. So maybe add that to your little post-it note on the left-hand side next to the box of Kleenex and put, make Lee feel happy. Make Lee feel warm and fuzzy every time you talk to him. Make Daddy proud. Actually, make Dad. Just put one sticker up on the corner love and say, make Daddy proud. I almost feel like we need to do a whole nother segment of just me and you talking about what a great father-son combination we are. Or the fact that I'm not going to offer you a contract and you'll be in death row and Jace will be dead. Towns will be collateral damage and it will just be Witness as the only War Games captain along with Benny and Joe Hoffman. I don't know.
Nah, I'll be a 3-time world champion. I'll steal the belt.
Townsend, now what happens when you go to War Games and you don't win it?
Nothing. I just carry on.
That's
What happens when you go to War Games and you're better than everybody, but you're on my team and I just take the title?
Oh,
I can kick you out of my stable. I can stab you in the kidney.
that could happen. It could happen.
Oh,
Better
trust me,
team.
I'm just gagging to stab somebody else in the kidney.
Ask Shane Reynolds how it feels to have the captain pick the title on them over him.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Bobbin Carey
Bobbin,
chose
yeah.
herself over.
So- What happens if I make it past tomorrow and I offer up my kidney to make Townsend my #1 pick?
You can have him as your #1 pick.
You give me a title shot, I'll join your team. If you retain, I want one straight after.
See, that's something that Jace, you're gonna find out. You're gonna have to, like I said, you guys. I would empty out your PM box right now because it's gonna blow the fuck up.
Oh yeah.
Same thing for you, Witness. You guys are gonna get hit from anybody and everybody asking to be on your team. And remember, you only get to pick 3. So.
I'll put it
well-
out there, I'll join your team, but if you win, I want a title shot.
Yeah, I've got a plan.
And Witness, you hear that? You got your stablemate going behind your back.
I'm not going behind his back, I'm saying it to his face right now. If you want me on your team, give me a title shot after you win. If you win.
See, Witness, this is why you shouldn't have joined Ground Zero. He's just a dirty fucker over there.
I'm just the
gets-
best Alliance member in disguise.
Pretty much. By the way, that we got to. Hey, well, never mind. We can't talk about that right now. All right, folks. I'm gonna end the show before we go any further with babble and bullshit. Mike, anything you want to add?
No, I got about cover it.
All right. For Michael, Silent, Reese, Jace, Scotty Wood, who's probably still venting on Twitter that we never brought him back.
He was a
I
minute
just
ago.
seen that.
America and everybody else. Lots of good info. I do want to plan next Friday night. We will have open up spot for everybody in terms of doing a Century Club horror. Because me and the wife talked about it tonight. I was going to do one tonight, but we got stuff to do, family tomorrow. But next Thursday and Friday, she's going to be out of town. So Friday night, during the show posting, we will do a live horror.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
During the show. And if anybody's ever done a drunk show with me before, there's a lot of like, where the fuck are we at now? What's going up next? I don't know. Anybody know where we're at? Yeah. But they're really, really fun, and some crazy ass booking on the fly does always happen. So, Witness, plan on next Friday.
Yep.
If you can. I know it's going to be a late night for you, but if you don't have work Saturday, it'd be well worth it.
Yeah, I'll try.
But next Friday night, third War Games captain will be announced. We'll know who's moving forward into the next round of the tag team tournament, and we'll also have a Century Club horror during the live show. I will also make this official right now, pending poll results, but they really don't matter, like I said, unless it's overwhelmingly against this. The following Chaos will be the first 3-hour one. So, we'll immediately jump into that. Because I really want to test that out and see how we're doing it. At least try it out in the beginning of a pay-per-view period.
Yeah, I
So
mean, worst case scenario, you just stop it if it doesn't work.
Exactly. Instead of waiting until we get closer to a pay-per-view and you fuck shit up. So, alright guys, thanks for being on the show. Mike, I gotta hit you up. We need to talk about your locker room leadership skills after the show's off the air. And Townsend and Witness, I need you guys to make sure you go through with that storyline that we talked about off the air. Really kick that into gear on the next show. And Jace, me and you need to talk about Barbie. So, alright folks, till next time.